And now, Gimmick Infringement.
Welcome, everybody, to the Gimmick Infringement Podcast. I am Brad Winchester, and with me, as always, is my tag team partner, Tyler McDowell Blank. And Tyler, I want to say I just got a second wind. I want to say it's like a fifth wind, maybe a sixth wind. I don't know how many winds it's been today, but I feel great. It's so great to see you, as always. How you doing on this Sunday evening as we record this?
I am well. Happy March, my brother. We had a very, I would just say, a very joyous February. Shout out to Fallen Gray, independent wrestling sensation. I don't even think we hyped it up properly on the last.
Not nearly.
GI, but here we are. Better late than never. If you have not given that interview a watch or a listen, please make sure you do. Please make sure you support Gray as well if you're not already connected with her on social. She's fantastic, and that was such an awesome way to end February, Brad. And here we are, ushering in a new month. I can't believe we got spring break on the horizon. You just enjoyed a rodeo break. I was in your area. I was in your city. I was in Tucson over the weekend for a wedding. I have stories from that. Of course, we're going to talk WWE and AEW. I think we'll have a loaded What Did We Miss? You have a promo. I watched the America's Next Top Model Netflix documentary. I got notes on that.
Wow.
I cannot wait for this conversation. It's great to see you. I am grateful. How you been?
Grateful and so sore and tired. My hands, I keep coming home and going like, I don't know if this is arthritis. I don't know what this is. I am generally swollen just in all parts of my body. I'm sore. Like I'm making noise. I'm making old man noises, man. I'm getting up and doing the thing when I stand up for the first time after a while.
That's unfortunate. Yeah.
Yeah. I got out quick from the couch earlier and I went, why am I walking like a capital C? Like what's up with my back? Is it my hips? Is it my back? Am I okay? Is this real? Today I had the realization because the air was off, and I was working in the theater, doing great things in there. I'm so excited for the show. I will properly hype it up this coming weekend. But we have a show coming up in the following week, the week before our spring break, March 11th, 12th, and 13th, 6 p.m. Marana High School Auditorium. The Lightning Thief, going to be great. I am really proud of what we've been able to do, but man, I don't feel right. I'm sore, man. I keep going like, I don't know what to do. I think an ice bath. I think I need an ice bath. I think I need like a Stone Cold style where I'm going, whoa, and trying to get into it. I need that. Just that sound he kept making in that video. I need to do that.
I love that for you. Could it be me? I love that for you though.
Just my hands, really. Just my hands and feet. I don't want any other part of my body.
Yeah, I could do the hands and feet.
Everything else, keep that.
I'm an Arizona guy. I'm sensitive to the cold. You know this.
I used to go cliff jumping into Lake Superior. What happened to me, man?
Yeah, you. There's like a 50 Cent lyric. What happened to you? Maybe that's off Wanksta. Anyway, that was a past life you had. And then, like a lot of us, you moved to the desert and your blood changes. And
yeah,
here we are.
It's mostly sand and dust now, or silt.
I love that for us.
Yes. Yeah.
But
yeah.
Okay, so vibes are high heading into Tech Week though, because you've told me about this show. I mean, going back months and months, and like all of our lives play out, especially during the school year. You talk about these things that are months away, and then all of a sudden, it's here. But in my case, I get the luxury of saying that because I'm just supporting you from a distance. You've been going into campus day in and day out, including over your rodeo break, as you said, preparing for the show. Vibes are high heading into Tech Week. Is that fair to say?
I think so. Yeah. I feel good. I don't feel ready, but that's, I never really feel ready,
Right. Yeah.
It's
kind of like getting ready for the first week or for like the first week of school or anything major.
Yeah.
You always wish there was more time, but you do the best you can, and
yeah,
things tend to go well, right?
You going on a big trip, you get everything ready, you can make a list and all that stuff, and just be like, oh wait, my charger, I didn't put it on the list.
Yeah. Or you forget the Listerine. You can just get the Listerine from Walgreens or or Walmart. I have a Walmart story in a little bit.
I can't get a 12-foot tall Minotaur from Walmart though, unfortunately, or I would have done that.
Unfortunately.
But I'm making great use of my paint sprayer at school. That was fun today. Just spray painting a big bowl That was a good time. I got some welding to do. I've never welded before, so pray for me. If you're listening to this, we didn't take it down because I am still alive. Okay, I just want to throw that out there.
Talk about a modern day Renaissance man.
Yeah,
That is
it's
Brad Winchester, if nothing else.
so get this. One of my kids was like, "Yeah, I can weld that. I know how to solder." And it's like, friend, they're not the same thing. Like you're not going to get flash burns from soldering. You're just going to burn your toes if you drop it on your toes, or your finger if you poke your finger with it. You can get lit on fire from welding.
Was it a harmless mix up or that irrational
No,
teenage confidence?
it was just irrational teenage confidence. And I was like,
Well, yeah, we've all been there. Okay.
I cannot tell you how
I
many
suspected
kids I
that.
came in. Like they come in from the nurse holding an ice pack with the outside of their eyes are all red because they're like, oh, and they're rubbing their eyes and stuff because they burn their retinas because they got flash burn. Like,
sounds
no,
very painful.
we're not effing around with that. Like, no, they're not the same thing, pal. Also, where were you when I said I need people to solder 800 things? Thanks for coming out of the woodwork at that moment. That was great. What I can weld 3 words I never want to hear ever again from somebody that doesn't know actually how to weld or have a certificate. But there are 2 words here on GI I do want to hear, and that I look forward to hearing every single week, Tyler.
Steph Watch.
As seamless as ever. Stephanie Bachir, Jade Cargill, and Liv Morgan all shared a ring on moving. Now, predictably, Liv chose to challenge Bachir.
Tyler, do you think this challenge is going to be a big challenge? I'm stalling to see if your audio regroups so we can hear you.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, you're back.
Not during Steph Watch. We back.
It's always during Steph Watch. It's like
It's so unfortunate.
Yeah, so I don't know. You turns into a hurdy-gurdy or something. I don't know.
Okay, so moral of the story.
You sound great now.
We had Stephanie Bachir, Jade Cargill, and Liv Morgan all in the same ring on Monday. Predictably, Liv Morgan chose to challenge Bachir at next month's WrestleMania. We've been talking about that for weeks on end here at GI. Now, even I could admit that Liv, I put this in my notes, I'm not proud of this, Liv, that Jezebel, hit an awesome microphone shot to Steph's chin. It was a great sound.
It was a great sound.
Brought me back to watching WWE as a kid, then WWF. However, in kayfabe, I don't believe that our La Primera, wouldn't have seen the cheap shot coming. It was obvious. Liv Morgan was trying to bait her in. Like, Stephanie, I listened to what you said. You've worked for what you have. I need to be an independent woman and really stand on my own and reclaim that Liv Morgan of years past. That was all a fake out just for Liv to turn around and hit her with the mic. So I just thought to myself, come on, powers that be in WWE. Steph Bachir would know what's up. She would duck that. She would maybe hit her with the devil's kiss or something. But anyway, this segment, of course, was all in service of setting up Bachir versus Morgan, which is official for the WrestleMania card. So really excited that Stephanie Bachir is going to be in a title program heading into April's mega show. And not only to be in a title program, but to be the champion walking in. Yeah. Brad, whether she leaves Vegas with the title or likely without, I'm really happy that she is going to carry the title into the biggest show of the year. So a positive Steph Watch, albeit a microphone shot included, but I'm excited to see how they build this program in the coming weeks. Because I know you mentioned this on last week's episode. It's been fun. The Dominic Mysterio insertion as well. Mm-hmm. I was getting for a while on the verge of maybe this is too much Dominic Mysterio on my TV, but he's been very additive to this program, and the fact that Liv doesn't speak any Spanish, and Steph's going at Liv, and then Dom is kind of translating, but also it's working for me right now, and I hope Steph gets her receipt this week.
It's a nice bit of comedy, well said by me, comedy and drama is what I try to do there. And I really enjoy the insertion of Dom in this just because it's just levity, right? It's either ultra serious, we're going to fight and I'm going to hurt you, or it's like, we're going to fight, I'm going to hurt you. Can you translate that for me? Like there's just that little speed bump in the middle is just really great. And I love everything about what they're doing there right now. It's just fun. Pro wrestling should be fun. Shouldn't be serious all the time. I love the serious. I love when it feels like stakes are incredibly high, but I also like when there's stakes and it's fun, not just, tense.
Right.
This is good.
And that was kind of a precursor on Monday for what we would get over the next 6 days, where there were a ton of matches that ended up being added to WrestleMania over the next following days of WWE programming, which I know we'll get into because we are going to discuss Elimination Chamber takeaways, are we not?
Oh yeah, I already have a feeling what you're going to ask me, but we're ready. We're ready.
Let's
Let's
do
get
this.
into it. Yeah. Let's get into
AJ
it.
Lee and CM Punk won a very successful homecoming for the pair, for the duo, for the happy couple. Rhea Ripley and Randy Orton won their respective chamber matches, and Seth Rollins made his triumphant return in a black hoodie, attacking. This is in my notes once again. Don't judge me. Attacking that low life Logan Paul. I guess we're getting Rollins versus Paul too at Mania. I don't particularly have an interest in that, but we shall see what happens. Brad, you know where I'm steering this question, though. Danhausen made his WWE debut. You are the biggest Danhausen fan I know. It's official. He has a T-shirt available on WWE Shop. I don't know if you purchased it yet.
Not a great shirt.
Well, we can start there. My question is quite simple. What did you think of Danhausen's debut?
I thought it was ridiculous. I also thought it was perfect. It was a perfect way to introduce him, hype him up, have it be a big deal, and then have the WWE audience that doesn't understand someone like Danhausen absolutely shit all over him on the internet. People were booing him in the building. It was weird. The reaction.
We got to talk about that. I thought about you. It's like, wait.
I was actively so upset.
Did I hear boos correctly? Is my audio? What?
A ton of boos, man.
Did they just boo this man out of the building?
I was like, that doesn't make any sense. I guess any reaction is a good reaction, but damn, like that's unfortunate because he will move mountains of merchandise for them. Tony, I'm still convinced Tony Khan absolutely dropped the ball on that. I don't know what the relationship is like. I don't know. It seems like there were several talent that are now in the WWE that left and were sort of on Team Punk that ended up getting kind of blacklisted or just removing themselves or recusing themselves, right?
Right. Ricky Starks seemed to be in that position as well.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Yeah.
The irony was not lost on me that Danhausen makes his debut at the show with CM Punk on the poster in CM Punk's hometown. I would imagine CM Punk went to bat for his guy and advocated 100%. For his signing. So that was not lost on me either.
And the thing I think that will go well with this is if they use him as not as a wrestler necessarily, but as a comedic device, it's going to work great. And I think that it'll work absolutely wonderfully if they have him be the comedic device. They have him doing backstage stuff. They have him come out to the ring as a manager. He can go in there every once in a while and do that stuff. But imagine him coming out like because Finn Balor is really upset that he lost again, and instead of Punk coming out, Danhausen comes out to defend Pepsi Phil, and it's a squash. Finn kills him, And then we get another one where he calls up his evil Danhausen character and we get Danhausen wins. And then we get a demon versus demon match at some point. I'd be here for that. It'd be fun, man. It doesn't have to make sense. It's pro wrestling. Who cares? It's just fun. I'm just super happy for him because that dude has worked so effing hard in the industry to find like all these talent, Gray and all these other people. Like I was thinking about Warhorse the other day, how he switched it up and became like the Commodore character, and then I don't think that was working, and he went back to being Warhorse. But how these guys have to these men and women have to figure out some kind of character that works, attract an audience so that you can make money, so that you can be a draw, and then hopefully get signed to a contract where you're getting like steady income and you can afford to do things like buy a house or feed your family or have longevity in the industry. And Danhausen did all of that. Like I didn't discover him just from being a wrestler. It was because he was doing all the vlog stuff during COVID, and letting that character shine will, what's a better place that does character work than WWE, or can highlight it on a big level. And I think the way that they do stuff in streaming now, and the way that they just have a lot of different platforms for him to be on. He doesn't have to be the main event of WrestleMania, and he shouldn't really be, but you can absolutely have him be involved. Maybe he comes out and curses somebody. Like, that's funny. Like,
that was a huge part of his presentation. He has
yes.
the new, not a dance, but he has the new. It was like a 3-part thing. It's like, yeah, you're cursed.
You're cursed.
Like, you can already tell the branding and the music that they have a vision for. No pun intended. They have a vision for how they're going to use him. Yeah, I hope so. For your sake, for Danhausen's sake, like you said, that dude's grinded. And I'm thinking about the potential interactions with, let's say, an R-Truth.
Yes.
Or I've seen on the timeline people fantasy booking Mr. Iguana, mixing it up with Danhausen in some capacity over Mania weekend. And that would be the right call, I think.
I can't wait for R-Truth to be like, when did Sting get back? Like, I just can't wait for like, I'm looking forward to it. Or I can't even think of anybody else that he would do right now, or just be like, he's going to call somebody else out with Danhausen and think he looks really sick. Like, right. Like, oh, you're really pale. I also found out today, like I saw a Van Vliet interview with Danhausen circulate. Did you know that Danhausen trademarked his makeup?
No.
Yeah. So I guess it showed up in a Magic the Gathering card, very similar to his makeup. And he was like, so I'm going to do something about that. And that's what gave Sting his idea to go like, I didn't know I could do that. I better go do that. So Sting's makeup is trademarked. Danhausen's makeup. Yeah. So like
straight up cease and desist Jones.
Yep, exactly. So, and it makes sense. It makes sense. It's a very specific look. It's the black, it's the red, it's the lines, it's the white paint. It makes sense to me that he would want to go out there and protect his assets. I don't know if WWE had to pay out the assets to get it. I hope they did, because he deserves all of the success that he has coming his way. I think that if they use him the right way, in a comedic way, that the audience is going to come around to him because it's so just awesome. But I think if they start putting him in big matches, it's going to be stupid. I think it's going to go very poorly, and they're going to boo him forever. Let him go in there and have his trust earned and have that character built a little bit before doing anything. I think it's going to work out great. I was just angry when people were booing. Ty, I want to say a simple question to you, but it's definitely not one you would have expected from me. Becky Lynch has lost to several legends and rising stars as a heel character over the last few years. She's put on great matches, great character work, and has been an absolute workhorse when carrying a lot of the weight of a division in terms of storytelling anyway. What do you think her legacy will be when she's done in WWE?
Wow. Becky Lynch.
Yeah, I've just been thinking about it. Like, man, she's just been everywhere. She's so reliable.
Yeah, she's been a huge part of programming over the last 6 to 12 months for WWE. I mean, she's going to go down as a first ballot Hall of Famer. And the part that's fascinating to me is when she caught that proverbial lightning in a bottle with the man character. I remember walking into the Marana High School library. I think it was on a Friday, and I was wearing jeans and my The Man t-shirt. Mm-hmm. Like, I specifically went on my Hot Topic app during that time period, and I was like, I need a Becky Lynch The Man t-shirt, because it was just hot. It was popping. It was just
Broken Nose Jones, right?
Yes, exactly. Yeah, that went hard. That was quite literally, I think this is inarguable, that was the biggest character in wrestling.
Yes,
she was for that time period, and then so much so that I think that this is right around the Ronda Rousey, Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch
pandemic really just kind of killed stuff, right?
Yeah. And so for Becky Lynch, that era was so iconic and did wonders for her career, and just put her in a completely different stratosphere in the moment in terms of her star power, and then thinking long term, what's she going to be remembered for? The Man just solidified. Okay, she's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. Coming after that, you mentioned this a few minutes ago, Brad, whether it's with Danhausen, Fallen Gray. This is a Fallen Gray fan podcast. When you have talent who are looking for characters to create and to mold and to embody, in the case of a Becky Lynch, you have this persona of the Man. And then, like most characters, there's a shelf life. for better or worse. I know that's something you've enjoyed about Chris Jericho's career, particularly earlier Chris Jericho, and then even up to when he started in AEW. He was one of the best at reinventing his character and just trying new things.
Right.
For Becky, what do you do after the man character? She was, I don't want to say toiling in obscurity, but it just, for several years, it felt like Becky was maybe a little bit stuck creatively following the man. Like, what can you possibly do that's going to reach those heights? So, to your question, this last year and change of Becky Lynch, whether it's mixing it up in NXT or the work she's done as the IC champion, and then the mixed tag situations with her shoot husband Seth Rollins, it's been really really strong. And it's
Agreed.
as you alluded to, it's just clear that she is a locker room leader. And I enjoyed watching that Netflix Unreal docuseries where backstage you always see her either working with peers or just seemingly being a doting mom. She seems like she seems like a great person. She seems like one of those people where nobody has a bad thing to say about her because she just handles her business. She's a pro, and she seems to be in a stage where she's giving back to the business in many ways, much like a Bailey, much like a Mercedes Moné, much like a Charlotte Flair. So we can't forget the four horsewomen of it all as well.
Yep.
It's cool to see the four of them flourishing at this very different points in their career. But yeah, Becky's been eating pins. She's lost to AJ Lee like 3 times now, 2, maybe 3. But she's fine. I mean, she's Teflon. For me, at least, she's Teflon as a character, and she's just stacking. Right? Like, she's just stacking the resume.
Yeah,
we're in Hall of Fame season, obviously for WWE. She is going to make it there one day, and there's just going to be so much to unpack from her. You have the last kicker, you have the man, and then you have this. Last thing I'll say, I do enjoy her trolling the president of the United States with her tweets and with her, like, clearly
the little illusions, right?
Clearly it's a rib on somebody very well known, and I do appreciate that she leans into the absurdity, which I take as a critique of that person.
100%.
But no, Becky Lynch, man, what a locker room leader, what a great peer, seemingly she is to have.
Yeah, to your point, I think that her current character reminds me a lot of the role models, the golden role models, Bailey. And specifically, I guess it's not really just that time period because she's still doing it. Specifically, the way that she used to take out Michael Cole for no reason at all. Becky's doing that now in interviews and online and all this stuff. It's so good. I think they found, again, to your point, I think they found the sweet spots of the things that worked with Big Time Bex before reverting back to the man.
Big Time Bex. Yeah, we saw Big Time Bex at the house show in Tucson.
Yeah.
Shout out July 2022.
Oh, it's crazy. I didn't love that character. Big Time Bex was fine, but there was something that didn't really work. And I couldn't figure out what it was. Like, what she was doing was fine. It just, like, it wasn't this. Where now it's like, I don't know, the man 2.0, the man, her music still says the man has come around, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah, the song goes hard. I like the song.
Yeah. Yeah, it's great. So she's the man, Becky Lynch.
I enjoy this character more than Big Time Bex. Big Time Bex was leaning on caricature.
Yes, there's Hollywood rock of it.
Yeah, there's a healthy balance between just turning it up to 11, as the saying goes, versus this is giving caricature and it's just not working for me. Yeah, I enjoy the character she's rooted in now, far more than I did most of the Big Time Bex era.
And I think a lot of that was like her talking herself up and wearing the clothes that Seth was wearing at the time and still continues to wear, right? But Seth does that and just doesn't say anything about it. He just sort of does it.
Yeah, and now Seth is a good guy again.
Yes,
that's a thing. Maybe we're on the verge of a Becky Lynch babyface turn this summer. Who knows?
I don't know. But I guess the point is for both of them, now what they're doing is embedded in their character, not just a thing they're doing on top of it. For Becky, I think before Big Time Bex, it was like this thing she's doing on top of a character instead of like having it be a part of her character. And I think that's what she found now. And she's just been so steadfast. And it just dawned on me because she's been, she hasn't been the big title holder in the company, but she's really built up that IC title and maintained it and has like if it's not Valkyria, it's AJ Lee. It's just she's just putting on great matches and doing this great story work with this great character work. Just wanted to give her props because I've really enjoyed her run.
I'm so glad you did. I want to say for Evolution last year, the opener of that show was Lyra versus Bailey versus Becky, which was one of my favorite WWE matches.
It was a year ago. That's crazy.
Of the year. That is crazy. And for AJ Lee, for her comeback, who is going to be that dance partner for her first singles match in X amount of years? It was going to be Becky Lynch. Obviously, I think it was clear watching Elimination Chamber. AJ Lee is still working off that ring rust, right? So Becky Lynch, I don't want to say having the humility, but just being that pro's pro, being that dance partner, and then knowing she was going to drop the title to AJ Lee, and seemingly she's not able to beat AJ Lee. Maybe she'll get her maybe Becky Lynch will get her a seat at WrestleMania if they run it back or do a multi-women's match. We'll see. But at this point, I don't even know that Becky Lynch needs a title. She's a made woman.
Yeah.
And she's just built so much stock with the fan base that maybe losing to AJ Lee will lead to something creatively even more satisfying. I don't think their feud is over, but
maybe we get a double turn.
Yeah, maybe. And speaking of turns, Brad, I put this in my notes too before I forget. What did I put here? Oh, Mark Nash, the ring announcer. We were spoiled with Samantha Irvin for as long as we had her in WWE, number one. Mark Nash, I fell for him in this moment, but I was also like, bruh, that's tough. You may know what I'm going to be referring to here. I watched the entrances for the men's Rumble match, the main event of this show, and Trick Williams has an early entrance. Just star, right? Trick Williams is killing it. So much so that Fightful Select, I believe, reported that there have been internal conversations about maybe pivoting him to being a babyface because he's getting thunderous reactions everywhere they go. Trick Williams has his entrance, and then I don't think it was the next, I don't think Javon was directly after, but a few wrestles later, Javon Williams has his entrance, and Mark Nash says, and making his way to the ring from, I think Javon Evans is from North Carolina, Javon Williams. Mark, we got to talk, man. I know it happens. I do not know the pressure of performing in front of 20,000 people, but mixing up the two black guys in the match, mixing up the two brothers, Javon Williams, Mark Nash, we got to call you to the carpet, my man.
I'm trying to think of because I thought you were going to go a different direction, but you were totally on top of that one. I was thinking about CM Punk's entrance, which warmed my heart. I was hoping they'd do that at some point. As soon as I heard Sirius start playing, I was like, oh, here we go. You're gonna do it in the center. You're gonna play the entrance. You're gonna hit him with the Michael Jordan intro. You're going to have the PA announcer do it. I just like all of it was great. I thought about sending it to Warren. I thought about shout out to the 19 Media Group because like the basketball crossover there, especially the people that are of an advanced age like myself here. I think that that was crazy. That was the
crossover.
That was so good.
Pun intended.
That was so
basketball
good.
And wrestling it's palpable. It was on the show.
I'm trying to find.
Shout out to 19 Media. We love those.
Find it. I'm pretty sure it was. That's right. It was in Miami. It was the 2006 NBA Finals. They were in like an auditorium or a gym, and maybe it was in the arena. I can't remember, but they were honoring Dwayne Wade. Did you ever see the mix-up when they announced him? And his name is Wade Jones. Dwayne Wade. Like, it's so great. And
I've never heard of that. But when you said 06,
sending you a link.
I did the calculus. So I'm sure you will. Yeah. I did the calculus in my mind. That was the Dwayne Wade series. D Wade and Shaq versus the Mavericks.
Yeah. And it was, oh my gosh, I can't believe I can't believe it was 2006. I'm starting to feel ancient. Maybe this is why my hands are.
I had those Dwayne.
I need the ice bath. Yeah. Before I forget, I sent you the link, and ladies and gentlemen, just go to YouTube. NBC Sports, NBC6 Sports has a clip, and it's just entitled "His Name is Wade Jones," and it is absolutely worth your time. Wade Jones, and she was like nailing it too, and I felt so bad for her. She's just it's brutal.
I can't believe I missed this seminal moment. I feel like went viral before going viral was a thing. Is that fair?
100%. Yeah, that was
Wait.
that was like Boom Goes the Dynamite time.
Wait.
That was Jedi Kid and Afro Ninja, and that dude. I still think about that dude going, huh, and then doing a backflip and just knocking himself out, like getting up with his nunchucks and stumbling sideways. Oh, just brutal. Early internet.
Brad Winchester, can we show some love before we leave WWE talk to Mike Steph, the GI bro himself? I want to make sure we get Mike's thoughts in here. He sent us his POV on this show. In summary, Mike said he's rooting for Roman over Punk heading into WrestleMania, which is a huge development. I put 2 exclamation points inside parentheses in my notes. We will have Mike on before WrestleMania, rest assured, and we will unpack his feelings on that. He also mentioned that Rhea Ripley will dethrone Jade Cargill at WrestleMania. Mike's in a very predictions heavy mood these days, it would seem. And he also said Drew McIntyre will get himself disqualified during his title defense versus Cody Rhodes on SmackDown this Friday. That was also a big talking point leaving this show. Is the unfortunate prophecy being fulfilled of Drew McIntyre not walking into WrestleMania as champ? Is this all just a means for Cody to get that win back on Drew? And then we get the 2 friends fighting each other, 2 friends being Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton for the presumptive night 1 main event of WrestleMania. You know how I feel about Drew McIntyre. I hope he is in the title match at Mania, but I have questions about what's going to go down this Friday on SmackDown. I am not ready, as Mike Steph is, to say that Drew McIntyre is going to lead that show as champ. I think Cody is winning that match, but stranger things have happened. We shall see.
I think so too, and I don't know how I feel about it. I would have loved to have seen Cody if it were like just a fatal 4-way. Have Roman be in that, because Drew and Roman have history with the title, especially during the Bloodline era when Drew was trying to win, and there's so many different stories there. But like I'm here for this. I'm glad Randy's involved because he hasn't been involved enough in certain things. So
it's a big moment for Randy. And if my final thought here is, if Cody Rhodes does end up defeating Drew McIntyre on Friday, and that means McIntyre's effectively out of the title match or the title picture for WrestleMania, there are some juicy matchups still for Drew, whether that be Drew versus Jacob Fatu at Mania, or dare I say Drew versus Obafemi. They still got some.
That'd be fun.
So they still got some ill will towards each other, going back to Saturday night's main event when Drew interrupted the Oba versus Cody match. I want Obafemi to answer Brock Lesnar's open challenge. We haven't discussed.
You don't think he'll be in the Andre?
He better not. He better not be in the Andre. But if Obafemi answers Brock Lesnar's open challenge and Obafemi defeats that man, I may have to buy WWE stock. I don't know that WWE can do any wrong for me the rest of this year. I'm very critical of WWE for various reasons throughout the year. But if they give us an Obafemi win over Brock Lesnar at the biggest show of the year, I just think all of my problems will wash away instantly that weekend. We can have nice things.
Well, I hope for your sake that we do. Otherwise, I know you'll be cutting an epic promo. And it's that time, Tyler. We're going to get into it now. Play the music. It's time for promo of the week.
And now, the promo of the week.
Tyler, it's more like promo of the year. I haven't done one of these in a long time. You haven't done one of these in a long time. There hasn't been a lot of need to do one of these in a long time. Wrestling's been great. Life's been great. But, I told you this weekend I was hot. I was so hot. Saturday, brutally warm in Arizona. Everybody across the country right now that's probably out shoveling their driveways, scraping their windshields off, going, brr, I have to put on another layer. We're out here going, it is 90 degrees. It is 90 degrees in February. I want my money back. What is this?
Warmest February on record.
We are going to
Arizona.
perish in July. Perish in July. I'm afraid. I feel like the weather report's just going to say fire, and that's all it's going to say. So, Tyler, I work at a school. You work at a school. And we got to talk about red tape. We got to talk about just bureaucracy and having to do a bunch of to get things done. just to get things done, just for things to happen, just doing a bunch of I'm trying to be calm, trying so hard to be calm, but I'm still hot. Listen, man, if I'm going to be inside of a building and I have to go put in an area request just to use that part of the building to make sure people know that I'm going to be there. And on that, I have but one request. And that request is turn on the air conditioning. Why is my air not on? Why is the air not on? Why is the school responsible for weekdays, but the district responsible for weekends? Make this make sense to me. Why is the cafeteria getting air when there's nobody there? Nobody at all. Cold. You could leave meat out in the cafeteria, right? It's frosty out there. Your ice cream's not melting in the cafeteria. You go into the auditorium and there's steam coming off people. Like I'm convinced I evaporated. I drank a water, a McDonald's, like a whole large McDonald's Diet Coke that just dropped off, a Gatorade, a cup of coffee. I didn't pee once. Not one time. I just went into the air. Just all of me. I don't know if I'm okay. What I do know is that because of rodeo break, because we get breaks because there's some horses and some cowboys. Because of rodeo break, I couldn't get a hold of my facilities guy because he was at a wedding. And then they were like, oh, I got a hold of district because only they can do it on the weekends. And I was like, it's 7 p.m. What am I going to do now? Yeah, make sure you turn the air down now that the sun's off. The sun's off. I don't need air conditioning when the sun's shut down for the evening. Turn it on when it's on full. That's all I ask. Is if you're going to ask me to fill out some paperwork, that my needs are met. And that's it. I'm a simple man. I just want people to follow through. That's all I want. It's the thing that's the worst part, Tyler. I'm going to wrap up here. Probably. It's really simple. It's nobody's fault. I have nobody to be mad at. And that really pisses me off. Because the systems are flawed. There's nobody to be upset with. And I can't take it, man. We got to get rid of some of this red tape. Why can't I just go to the AC? Why can't I turn the dial down? Why can't I turn it on Snowflake, that little lever? Why can't I crank it down a little bit? Just take the edge off from the 87 degrees it was. I just want it to be a little cooler than that.
Brad, I think this is one of those cases where we say the man doesn't want you.
It is the man.
If we can bring it full circle, it's the man. It's the man keeping you down. But
I wish the man would come around and turn the air on.
87 degrees is wild. I'm glad
I'm glad.
I don't think this is an AI version of you. This is the real you. I'm glad you made it to this recording.
Yeah, I can't speak for the health of my kidneys. Like I'm having a cup of coffee at the moment. Like this is probably a mistake. For all I know, this isn't like just glaze on this cup. Shout out to the New Glarus Bakery, by the way. It's not just glaze. I'm pretty sure I brought this with on Saturday and it just melted.
Wow.
It's really good though.
It'd be like that. Yeah. It's a really cool cup. It's one of my favorites in your
I love this mug. Yeah. Tyler, we have to get into AEW though. Lots of good wrestling this week. So go ahead and hit me with your question.
Yeah. So as you can tell, this episode of GI is very Brad Winchester focused. I asked you about Danhausen during our WWE portion, and I am going to continue the streak.
Views are going to be crazy this week.
They're going to just go through the roof. Yeah. I am going to ask you about someone else whose work I know you enjoy quite a bit. Unfortunately, Penelope Ford suffered an injury during Dynamite. Fightful Select reported that her injury altered plans for the finish of the match between MegaBad and the Babes of Wrath, which you may recall was for the Women's Tag Team Championship. With the emergence of the Brawling Birds and the signing of the Inspiration, they're fighting each other this week on Dynamite. Very excited for that. Brad, which team do you believe is most likely to dethrone Harley Cameron and Willow Nightingale? This question, of course, coming on the heels of it seemed like the vibes were giving MegaBad was going to beat the Babes of Wrath on Wednesday until that Ford injury happened. So if we can move forward with the idea that the Babes of Wrath title end could be coming to an end sooner than later, what's your power ranking? Do you see the Sisters of Sin coming back into this now that Tekla has her own gold? Are you going full Brawling Bird City? Can the Inspiration sneak in and become champs? Who would you like to see dethrone the Babes of Wrath?
Ooh, that's tough. Who would I like to see? I mean, okay, this is complicated.
There could be another. There could be
I don't like
another
this.
team. There could be another team I'm forgetting.
The Inspiration makes the most sense to me, but the Brawling Birds are who I want to win. The Inspiration is who I think will win. The Brawling Birds are who I want to win. I mean, I need, just give me Jamie Hayter over the field in general. Like, that's it. Like, I need Jamie Hayter running out there and go, Windsor! Like, I need that too.
We got to clip that Jamie Hayter over the field. We could get a lot of mileage out of that. Production team, do your thing.
Yeah, but that being said, the Inspiration is that. I mean, they're one of my favorite acts. So it's really hard for me to go like, no, I don't want them to win. Having a tag team that's been a tag team for the better part of a decade not win the titles doesn't make a lot of sense to me. When I think the women's division is loaded right now, and you could split up any of those tag teams that they have and have singles runs out of everybody. But I don't want that. I want the Iconics to remain. I want them to be FDR. Sure, you could dust them off when somebody's injured and have them do a singles match, but like otherwise, I want them to do tag team stuff. I don't want them to do anything else. So the Inspiration make a lot of sense to me.
You could also make a really strong case for the aforementioned Megan Bayne and Lena Cross, who is just as, if not even more physically imposing than Megan Bayne. I didn't know that was possible. Lena Cross, I was not aware of your game. My apologies. She came in and she's just
yoked.
Just looks like an absolute star. So I suspect that won't happen because Megan Bayne is giving, I'm coming for singles gold now. I'm not messing around anymore. I am who I say I am. I am the Megasis. I think we're going to head into Revolution in a couple weeks, Brad, with a Megan Bayne versus Willow Nightingale singles match on the pay-per-view for the TBS title. And I think that's a must win. This is a Willow Nightingale fan podcast. Don't get it twisted. But it's time for Megan Bayne to have gold. Yeah. And I think we're pivoting away from tag team gold, even though her and Cross would be a blast. And Bayne was even tagging with Marina Shafir last year when Penelope Ford was injured at that time as well, unfortunately. But all the teams you mentioned could have a legit case. The Brawling Birds, I think they may just jump the line. I think they're going to move past. I think they're going to beat the Inspiration this week. I think they're going to move ahead of even the Sisters of Sin. Right. And I think they're most likely to become the next champs. I just think they have a lot of momentum. I think, like you said, Alex Windsor and Jamie Hayter just fit. The gear looks great. It just makes sense. I think they're going to catch fire.
Yeah, I think so too. And they're a couple of hosses too. So, like that's who I want to win. If we have to pick people, and how do you think it goes down at Revolution? Or do you think it goes down at Revolution? I would love to see like a tag, like a tornado tag or a four-way tag.
Multi-women. That seems, I like that call. That seems most likely. I would love to see the Inspiration be involved in this. Brawling Birds, I would say for sure at this point are going to be involved at Revolution. And then whether it's the Sisters of Sin or maybe a team we're forgetting, that would make a lot of sense. And that would also be a case where the Babes of Wrath don't have to get pinned. Not saying that they, I think you could obviously Harley Cameron's taking pins, Willow Nightingale is even taking pins, but I would love I think that's going to be the move for Revolution. You called it. I could totally see a four-way women's tag. AEW does that often between the men's tag and the women's tag. They do that all the time. I think that would be appropriate for the Revolution card.
Certainly. Yeah, and on a pay-per-view, you get a ton of talent on the screen and get them in that
Definitely.
I would love to see that because they do a great job with it. So.
Yeah, you just signed the Inspiration. You want to present them as a big deal. Again, I'm really curious, Brad, on Wednesday, who goes over between Inspiration and Brawling Birds. I predict the latter. But like you said, the Inspiration are a big deal, a very savvy signing for AEW. And I told you, I walked past them at TNA Against All Odds in the summer at the ASU Hockey Arena. And I was like, oh my gosh, like these are just stars. They just get it. They have the presence. and that I could totally be wrong this weekend. They could beat the Brawling Birds and therefore become the number one contenders. But I do like your idea of a multi-women tag situation at the Revolution pay-per-view.
Man, I hope so. I would love to see it. I love when AEW does the multi-tag matches, whatever I don't even know if they have a name, just multi-group tag thing.
Go All Elite Women and Tekla's champ. Yeah. Let's not bury the lead.
Yeah.
Speaking of your favorite, it's a great time to be Brad Winchester, is it not? You got the show coming up. Your favorites are signing with companies. They're winning gold. We're up. We up.
And that was
tell them we up.
That's my lead in here, because that was my question. So Tommaso Ciampa beat Jay Lethal this week.
I saw that,
which is great. Like I wonder what happened to Jay Lethal. I wonder what he's been up to. I know he's been doing producing stuff and been backstage. I think
I didn't know he's a mentor for the Swirl. When he came out on Collision and he was with the Swirl, I was like, oh, I didn't even.
Yeah, he's been working in ROH, right?
I was gonna say, spoiler: I don't watch ROH ever.
Yeah, me either. Andrade and Bandito are set to face off at Revolution. That's going to be awesome.
Yes, they are.
Tekla and Thunder Rosa are set off to collide next week. So, out of the last two, Andrade and Bandito, and then Tekla and Thunder Rosa, knowing that they're not happening at the same time, which match? Good Lord, which match are you most looking forward to, and which match do you think will surprise people the most?
Tekla versus Thunder Rosa, I'm here for. I enjoy how quickly they've built that feud. And Tekla just being in her bag right now and just walking with so much confidence and speaking with confidence when she said, Thunder Rosa, what did she say a week ago that it got a lot of traction online? She was talking crazy. Thunder. She's like, yes. Thunder Rosa, one of the bravest women alive and also one of the dumbest.
Oh, yeah. Up in the
Yeah. She was talking. She was talking her stuff. So that's just two hard hitting ladies who I just didn't know I needed that rivalry until I realized I needed it. But like you said, Bandito versus Andrade as well, especially in LA, that match is going to be great. I'll even insert one here though, Brad, that I'm probably most excited about out of all these options: Brody King versus Swerve Strickland for who's the most dangerous man in AEW. I want to live in a world where it's possible Brody King gets the win in his backyard at Revolution. But I think Swerve has taken that. And Swerve, this is a big headline from AEW this week that I didn't mention. Swerve leaning back into being a heel with Prince Nana alongside him after he murdered Kenny Omega last week and feels no remorse for it. That's one of those storylines right now in AEW that has my attention. And the match with Brody King, I mean, that would be a main event all throughout the world, but that's probably going to be the third or fourth match on the Revolution card, which is nuts. So my answer is yes to all of the options you presented. Please give me Tommaso Ciampa versus Kyle Fletcher 2 at Revolution for the TNT 100%. Championship. I mean, all of these options sound great to me. I am really intrigued, though, with Brody King versus Swerve. But Tekla's killing it, and I'm glad Thunder Rosa's back on TV.
I'm glad you're excited for that. That wasn't one of the two options, though, and you cheated. So I'm going to go to my thing and say Tekla, Thunder Rosa. I can't wait to see how hard they end up hitting each other.
Yes.
I've been waiting for a good Dynamite, like just slugfest between the women. I think the last one that we got that I was like, man, they were really hitting each other hard was probably not Thunder Rosa, Tony Storm and Sheeta. Wasn't it those two?
That was a minute ago.
It was like a year and a half ago or more, where they just beat the crap out of each other. And I'm not counting like hardcore matches and stuff. Just a good old fashioned, I'm just going to go in there and we're going to hit each other really, really hard kind of match. Not, the death matches and blood and guts and all that stuff.
I was just saying, and you're specifying Dynamite because I'm thinking of last year, Jamie Hayter versus Chris Statlander.
Right.
I think that was at Full Gear.
Yes, non-pay-per-view.
That was just
that was a hoss fest.
Snug City. I enjoyed that quite a bit.
It's my favorite, man. So I'm looking forward to this. I also haven't gotten to see Thunder Rosa do much. She said battled injuries and all that stuff. Also working, I believe, in ROH and doing some things here and there. And I'm just excited to see her get back in there. And I think there'll be some people that might see her wrestle for the first time because she's been gone or so infrequent that I hope we get to see it and then it's highlighted because she's really awesome. And I think you and I were both big fans of Thunder Rosa early on in AEW, and it's one of the things that we made people watch during our Friday during COVID lunches. We were like, hey, everybody in here, we're watching Thunder and Britt commit murder here in a cage, and I think her injury like just put her on the shelf for what, almost 2 years, and having to wait that time to build up her cachet again has been really disappointing from a fan standpoint. But I'm just glad she's healthy enough to go into the ring and do it. So I'm looking forward to seeing her back in there.
You know, I agree. Listen, I remember when Thunder Rosa was on the poster for an event at the Hotel Tucson City Center for Cactus League Wrestling.
Right, I forgot about
like
that.
She is
Wow,
she's Texas to the bone.
Yeah.
She's Mexico to the bone. She has a huge Arizona connection.
Mm-hmm.
And that Cactus League Wrestling event. I mean, that was circa, I want to say, Brad, 2018. Maybe that, in the grand scheme of things, that was not that long ago. For her to strike gold in NWA and then for her to head over to AEW and build that cachet and just have a lot of fervor around what she was doing. As you pointed out, it's really good to see her back in this position. And she's battled, like you said, health injuries. She's navigated some personal challenges, which she's been very transparent about on her social platform. So really good to see her seemingly happy and healthy. And hopefully for those who are going to Tucson or going to Collision in Tucson, Tekla is Arizona based. Thunder Rosa has a huge Arizona connection. Hopefully one or both of them will also pop up for the Tucson homie. Shout out to everyone in Tucson or going to Tucson who's going to be at Collision. Of course, send us your pics. Let us know. We'll give you a shout out. But I have a feeling that maybe both of those ladies, or at least one of them, will pop up, since, at least in the case of Tekla, she doesn't have to travel too far to make it to that show.
I really want to go to that show. It's just the worst possible timing for me.
It's tough.
I mean, it's the worst possible timing.
Yeah.
Oh, it just makes me so sad. But I can check it out on TV. I can still see it. I'll be able to watch it. And we're going to talk about something you watched recently, Ty. GI at the movies. Let's get into it. Play the music.
And now it's time for GI at the movies.
I don't know if many people know this about me, but there was a time in my life where America's Next Top Model, it was my jam, Brad. I'm not saying it to pop you. I'm not saying it to be
Bakes Fan Jones.
Yeah, it was. I'll give you some background here. Okay, so I have my notes from Netflix's new 3-part docuseries examining the 2000s reality show, America's Next Top Model. Did I sell my first note here? It's a question to myself that I'm sharing with you. Did I sell, donate, or simply lose my season 1 DVD? I was such a true fan that I had season 1 on DVD, and I don't know where it is anymore, but I loved this show. And so this was a very surreal experience to be watching this documentary, to remind me of my age. Number one, that there could be like a retrospective series on something that was a seminal part of my youth. And then B, I remember seeing the show at a distinct period in my life when I was experiencing puberty. I watched America's Next Top Model and thought, wow, girls are pretty. This is something I want to learn more about. Do we still have an obsession with reality TV? I was a teenager just enthralled with these beautiful women who were learning the tricks and trades of modeling. Obviously, I knew Tyra Banks from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air fame and for all that she did, Life Size, and all the movies she popped up in and starred in. But Brad, do we still have an obsession with reality TV? Production and the network execs got away with so much back in the day. There were clips shown in this docuseries from the early seasons of America's Next Top Model, and even the latter seasons. There's been like almost 20 seasons of this thing.
That's crazy.
And looking at it with our 2026 lens in particular, it's like, yo, why were we okay with this exploitive, sometimes just awful content, very personal content being shared? In the docuseries, they interviewed several of the former cast members across the different seasons. and many of them spoke to not having a positive experience on the show, and especially looking back on it, feeling like they were exploited just for TVs and for ratings, because the show did really well. It did huge numbers. So again, for me, it's this classic example of like, I don't know why I spent so much of my life following and supporting this product when it just seemingly was not well intentioned. And then finally, the leading contender for heel turn of the year already in 2026.
Wow.
Sadly, the aforementioned Tyra Banks. Brad, I don't know your relationship. I don't know your relationship to Tyra, but it's been my belief that her Q rating has been rather high over the years. I think she's been for a long time one of those celebrities where you just respect their hustle. Seemingly they have a solid moral compass. And I guess that's all for naught, because Tyra Banks came off looking terrible in this docuseries. I believe she even had a hand in production. So I'm not sure if she thought maybe being able to be interviewed as part of this would sort of, it would give her a goodwill with fans. It did the exact opposite. Tyra is a meme on the internet now. She just had some
shouting, the one where she's just shouting.
There's that one. We were all rooting for you.
Yeah.
That was a big part of the docuseries. But now Tyra 2026 being interviewed for this docuseries, that is a meme now, based on how awkward to horrid some of her answers were. She's become a meme once again. So I don't know if this is an intentional heel turn. I don't know if Tyra Banks is playing chess and not checkers, but she didn't look good leaving the show. Not many people looked good leaving this reality check Inside America's Next Top Model docuseries. I think the cast looked the best, but when we look at Tyra, when we look at people who had a hand in production, they did not look good leaving this docuseries. I had to binge all 3 episodes. I was enthralled by this. And of course, if you were an America's Next Top Model fan like myself, if you watch this docuseries, let us know your thoughts. Let us know your notes. You can leave us a comment here on YouTube. You can also hit us up across the social spaces at GIPod19. We want to know what you think, and we will include your POV on the next podcast.
So you have Bianca behind you up on that shelf, right?
Listen, we got nothing but stars here. We got Freya Winchester, first of all. We got Freya Winchester. We got Bianca Belair. There's a artist formerly known as Sasha Banks over here too. Yeah, we got the EST.
Perfect.
You know
I thought Sasha was over there. So at some point, you and I are going to have to unpack your love of black women named Banks. I don't know what happened there.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if there's much more to share. It's a thing. But Tyra, I don't know if Tyra's going the Mercedes CEO heel turn route, but she's a meme again, and I just don't think that
she just needs a new entrance. And
I guess Tyra, what's going on, TB?
Man. Okay, Tyler, what did we miss?
Okay, are you ready for this? I have a loaded what did we miss? First, Bruno Mars' album, The Romantic. I've been on top of this, Brad. It dropped last week. It's the 4th studio album, the first in 10 years, a whole decade from the 40-year-old pop star. There are just 9 songs on the project, so it's a quick listen. The video for Risk It All is creatively heartfelt. I think you'd really enjoy it if you haven't seen it. And my favorite song off the album is God Was Showing Off. Second, what did we miss? The Unrivaled playoffs are here. Vinyl takes on Phantom, and Breeze takes on Mist. This remains a Kelsey Plum stan podcast. So I'm rolling with Phantom to win it all, but I'm keeping my eye on Mist with Alicia Gray and Brianna Stewie Stewart. Final 2 notes, excuse me. Paramount wins the bidding war for Warner Brothers. So the WB is not going to Netflix after all. Paramount is coming for Netflix, man. Paramount has UFC. Paramount, again, now has also acquired Warner Brothers. And I'm really eager to see kind of what that, I don't want to say what that arms race looks like, but how do these 2 streaming giants kind of continue to go back and forth with each other for as much of the market as they want to hold. And then finally, Brad, I teased this, I think within the first 5 minutes of our podcast. I made my return to Tucson. Unfortunately, I did not see you, but I was there for a special occasion. Shout out to the Paulsons, Kevin and Alex, the newlywed couple. Love those 2. Beautiful ceremony near downtown. It was at the Bates Mansion I don't know if that means anything to you. Near downtown Tucson, not too far from the university. Beautiful venue, beautiful people. My last words I want to leave you with. I forgot the charm of Tucson during my travels back in the city. I went to Walmart. Have you been to the Walmart on First? Have you been to the Walmart on First and Wetmore near Tucson Mall?
Yes.
I forgot just how hood that Walmart is.
It's yes.
And that is not too far. That's like a legit a stone's throw from where I used to live, Brad. There is just epic construction going on in that parking lot right now, that plaza.
Mm-hmm.
So it was already looking like a scene out of Halo or Grand Theft Auto. Like
it's a dumpster fire. It's
okay. I wasn't ready for the dumpster fire construction of it all.
I mean, before the construction, it was a dumpster fire. That's what I'm saying. Anyway.
Picture this, and I'm gonna kick it to you for what do we miss. I walk into this Walmart. I'm getting some toiletries. I'm getting a jug of water, looking like a boss, from the valley. And I walk in, I get my stuff, I check out, and then I see there are 2 armed officers just sitting in front of or behind the checkout area. So when you exit, they are sitting right there, armed and everything. The squad car is right out front of the Walmart. And my takeaway was, I think I've gotten soft, Brad. I was shook when I saw that. They don't have that in Glendale or Peoria, Arizona. There are 2 officers outwardly packing because they know that there is a lot of theft that occurs at the Walmart on First and Wetmore. It's the most hood Walmart I've ever been to. I forgot where I came from, man. And shame on me for doing that. But I enjoyed my 24 hours back in Tucson. It's a special place, and it has a very, very unique, memorable Walmart, to say the least.
Yeah.
What do we miss?
You really sold Tucson for the masses there.
I know.
Okay,
I thought about, do I bring this up or not? But I just forgot how hood it was. I really did. Tucson is a great place. Visit. It's an amazing city. We know this.
Yeah, that whole area is
you just don't have to go to the Walmart on First and Wetmore.
It's so interesting. You go down like two blocks, and it's really nice. It doesn't make any sense.
It's jarring.
It doesn't make any sense. Okay, Tyler. I erased a couple of really negative ones on there, so I'm going to leave that off. I'm gonna go with some positives here. Taker inducting AJ Styles into the Hall of Fame class of 2026. That was really cool. The biggest news of the week: Ryan Coogler, Cougs is writing the pilot for X-Files. They are rebooting the franchise. We are getting a Coogler helmed X-Files. I'm hoping we get some black actors taking over whatever the roles are and picking up where Mulder and Scully left off, because it was a pretty white show. I don't know if you know that. And they could use with some diversity in there. There's only a couple of characters, I think, that were people of color that weren't just, murderers or monsters or aliens or something. And I'm super excited for what Coogler can bring to the table, given his filmography. And he's already done television. He's done some of my favorite episodes of The Mandalorian and some other things for Disney. But I'm really incredibly excited for what his take is on the X-Files. And I was incredibly happy to hear that he was helming that. That's awesome.
You just broke the news to me. I was not aware. I saw Ryan Coogler pop up at the NAACP Image Awards. Big shout out to Coleman Domingo. Big shout out to Michael B. Jordan. Both of them won awards at the show and gave just fantastic speeches. There are so many talented artists out there, Brad. Big shout out to Ryan Coogler. I mean, I am just, that is someone's career who I am completely invested in. You and I talk about the Jordan Peels, the Ryan Cooglers of the world. These are just talented brothers who are doing amazing things and already leaving a legacy that is going to be spoken about for long after they're gone.
Absolutely. And I can't wait for X-Files.
I
don't know why it was a secret, but I can't wait for the X-Files.
I have a feeling we're gonna talk.
The truth is out there
on this very podcast. Brad, this is
great. I did have a question before we wrap up. The Smoking Man and the X-Files. Do they update it? Is it Vaping Man?
What if I told you? What if I
Oh,
told you
don't
I've
even
never
say the
seen a full
words.
episode of the X
Oh,
Files?
sweet.
I don't know the reference.
I don't know you.
Well, it's been a fun episode. Job
It
well
was.
done.
It was. Yeah. The
Job
ending.
well done by you. By you. Stay away from the Walmart on First and Wetmore. Just go to the El Con or just go somewhere else. But visit Tucson. Seriously, like when people talk crazy about Tucson, we don't like that here. It's a beautiful place. Just choose your Walmarts wisely. And thank you for choosing us and this episode of GI. We so appreciate you being here. And you know how we close the episode. We'll see you next week. Gimmick Infringement is a part of 19 Media Group. You can listen to us on Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio, or wherever you find podcasts. You can also find us on YouTube via the 19 Media Group channel. Please like, subscribe, comment, and share.